Disclaimer. The content provided in this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. While we discuss topics related to mental health advice, life wisdom, and the like, the opinions expressed are personal views of the hosts and do not constitute professional, legal, or medical advice. We make no representations or warranties about the accuracy or completeness of the information discussed. Any action you take based on the information in this podcast is strictly at your own risk, and we are not liable for any losses or damages in connection with its use. Additionally, this podcast may contain discussions around addictions, substances, which are intended for adult audiences. We do not endorse any illegal activities. Please consult your local laws before engaging in any actions related to this content. By listening to this podcast, you agree that you are over the age of 18 or the age of majority in your jurisdiction and understand the terms of this disclaimer.
Welcome to the Balancing Forces podcast, where two opposites collide in the best way possible. One brings the fire,
the other keeps it chill.
But together we share life's lessons, hard-earned wisdom,
advice you can actually use.
Whether you need a fresh perspective or just a laugh, we're here to elevate your mind. So buckle up, because things are about to get real and
really funny.
All right, Chapter 4. Change will not occur until the pain gets bad enough. The single most frequent mantra my clients hear from me is simply this: change will not occur until the pain gets bad enough. No matter how bad you think your life is now, it is still not as bad as some greater pain if you deviate from the path. And it is that potential pain that keeps you stuck in this present life that you're in. The simple fact of the matter is that unless you drill down to the real source of your pain will only get worse. Again, this stuff doesn't magically heal itself or magically go away. Either it gets solved through willful action to dive down to the core, or it expands. That expansion, that increasing of your pain, is both tragic and glorious. It stinks when God or the universe or the machinations of your soul increase life's pains, particularly just when you found yourself saying, well, this can't get any worse. It always can. Don't tempt the gods. The pain can go beyond insufferable, breaking us and breaking us further. The ego, like the egg, is of no use until it is broken. But there is an amazing upside to it all, not while you're in it, but when it finally breaks your fear of the future you want to pursue. See, eventually the pain of now gets so bad that it exceeds your fear of tomorrow. It exceeds your fear of what people will think, say, and do if you become that which you really want to become. Eventually, the pain gets so bad that you don't care anymore about potential future pain that might come from leaving the path that you're on. You don't care anymore about the very fears that yesterday kept you hamstrung, locked in this life of misery. In effect, pain gives you strength. Pain even gives you courage. Beautiful, mad courage. That is the glorious part. The irony is that the strength and the courage that come after being broken exceed the great strength that kept you hanging on to your lifeless path amid the many problems it wrought. Pain burns off blockages. When the pain gets bad enough, it energizes us to do the formerly unthinkable. You reach what I call the screw it point. At least that's what I call it in the book I've committed to not swearing in. It is when you finally don't care anymore. Old fears finally effortlessly fall away, and you say with crystalline resolve, screw it. I'm doing it. Great pain yields this odd hybrid fruit. Pain, horrific as it can be, is an extremely powerful motivator. It's yet one more life example of the simple truth that blessings are curses and curses are always blessings. Inside of pain, inside of hardship, inside of hard questions, inside of the dark forest of the soul, inside whatever hell you are going through, there are always pearls of wisdom, new insights, and fountains of new power. Further, the grand blessing of going through hell is that it's not as scary the second time. And it is near completely defanged by the third and fourth time. You learn and know the earmarks and milestones, the critters and the crags that rise up to meet you on the path to and through hell. Go to the very farthest reaches of your sorrow, stay there a while, and all of a sudden you don't quite fear going there again, or going into fear at all. It is tremendously empowering. It may not be on your top 10 list of things to do, but it doesn't cripple you either, if you know you got to go there. Further, because the second time of going through hell in life is not so scary, we tend to move on earlier in the painful state, rather than hanging on until things get at their absolute worst. But this is one of the real goals of the spiritual life, to hear and heed the deep, quiet inner voice sooner and sooner each time. It's so easy to not heed the quiet inner vibe pulse, to ignore it, hanging on to the what was, hanging on to what is safe. But when in the past we've seen life spin out of control enough times for not following that inner calling, when we've seen our problems metastasize because we didn't heed the whisper of the soul, we quite naturally begin to listen and act a bit sooner. Because the amount of pain necessary to move us off of our inertia or present circumstances decreases. Previously, it was your very strength that was your downfall. It kept you holding on to a set of experiences or circumstances that were killing your spirit. You held on and held on and held on. But as we age and go through hell enough times, we stop trying to hold on when the winds of life are calling us, beckoning to a new and higher existence. The fruit of the spiritual life is determined by your willingness to sooner and sooner hear and heed that inner vibe, and to quit the path when it has run its course, when the voice of your soul is calling you away from the old path and to a new one. And if we begin to treat that inner voice with deliberateness and meditation, trusting it becomes easier and more fluid. We must welcome flow, not just when it's calling you to something, but most especially when it's calling you away from something. Change will not occur until the pain gets bad enough. And if you're not changing, it's simply because your pain hasn't gotten bad enough. And it will get worse. You're staying right where you are safe, not moving, because you don't have to yet. But once it does take you to your limit and you do act boldly, the fruit and the growth after the pain are on such an exquisite level that you presently are incapable of imagining them. It really is that great. But it is just doggone scary right up until that point where you do finally take that leap. Song recommendation. The first song recommendation I have for you is a classic that speaks right to the place in life I refer to as the screw it point, where you no longer care about pleasing others, no longer care about all the things that have kept you locked in an unhappy life, and no longer care about wasting your life. It is Phil Collins' I Don't Care Anymore. Sit in it. Let it strengthen you for what is ahead. The second song is about the spot of feeling like you're caught in the loop of hiccups, hardships, and hurdles, longing to escape but feeling stuck in the never-ending cycle. Purchase Eminem's Lose Yourself and give it a long, good listen. While we definitely get more than one chance in life, this song is still inspiring as a heck. Thanks for listening. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Share this out with your friends. At the end of the series, there will be a giveaway for a copy of your own book. Thank you.